Hello everyone and welcome to Catholic Youth TV. I'm your host, Juan. I'd like to wish everyone, first of all, a very happy Lent. God bless you all. Our topic today is quite unfortunate. In fact, our topics today are all quite unfortunate. They all just happen to be along the same line of thought. I'd like to first bring to your attention an article by the Huffington Post authored by Larry Doyle. Just by the title, you can tell right away that it hurts. The Jesus-eating cult of Rick Santorum. Now, I don't care what you think about Rick Santorum's politics. He's an American conservative Republican politician in the States. But when you read the article, you realize right away that this is not an attack on Santorum's policies or ideas, but an attack on his personal faith and an attack on the Catholic Church. How can the Huffington Post, a news organization that boasts in being liberalism meaning that all men are considered equal in that society, in that ideology, how is it, my friends, that they allow a hateful commentary on the faith on a public sphere? They refer to us as cannibals, as pedophiles, as homosexuals, as hate mongers. I'm pretty sure that if the Huffington Post found in some way an article got onto their website with the words nigger or spick or chink or maybe even cracker, I'm pretty sure that the Huffington Post would tear that down. And yet they allow an article directed against Catholics stay online. It is absolutely intolerable and disgusting. My fellow Catholics, I encourage you to, number one, pray for them. Pray for the Huffington Post, pray for Larry Doyle, pray for his supporters so that these people change their hearts and minds. They don't have to love the church, but at least they better live up to their belief of equality and respect us. Secondly, write complaint letters and emails to the Huffington Post to the point that they cannot reject the content in there and accept it for what it is, a hate letter, a hate speech against Catholics. Secondly, the HHS mandate. You would have to be living under a rock to not realize that the Catholic Church in America is being persecuted. No president in American history has gone and infringed on so many religious rights and so many religious groups as Obama has. Now, this isn't a podcast against Obama or liberals or anything like that, but it seems odd and peculiar that the majority of the attacks are coming from that political spectrum. We have conscientious objectors in Canada and in the United States that do not participate in national anthems, in national holidays, that do not go to war, that do not have blood transfusions. Why? Because they are allowed, because it goes against their religious conscience and their free will. And yet you have here a government willing to shove their own ideology down the throats of Catholics and Catholic institutions, regardless of what they think. This is unacceptable and an attack not just on religious freedoms, but on the very foundational freedoms that a human being has to express themselves freely. Lastly, this is a much broader topic, but society and the media attacking Catholic institutions, particularly in Canada here. Can you believe that the Canadian government is forcing schools, at least in Ontario and in Quebec, and I heard that they were bringing that here to BC as well, to adopt homosexual groups and alliances outside of school that are not started by students in their schools. They're forced to adopt these groups and forced to teach licentious activities to fit into what the government considers acceptable education and future planning. Again, since when did contraception become essential or foundational or a human right? Since when did contraception trump religious and personal freedoms? It is absurd, illogical, and downright wrong. Regardless of what religion you are, no one has the right to force a group of people to do, behave, pay, act a certain way. Lastly, the media attack on vocal conservative Catholics. You don't see anything on the media against Nancy Pelosi or Joe Biden or any liberal, wishy-washy, in-the-fence Catholic. You don't see anyone calling these people hypocrites or liars or traitors to their faith, but their behavior is telling. Yet you see so many newsreels, conservative and non-conservatives, liberals, communists, socialists, fascists, even some conservative newscasts, criticize Rick Santorum, Cardinal Dolan, Pope Benedict XVI. Why? Because they stick to the unchangeable teachings of the Catholic Church. You hear millions of voices preaching against these people with hate. And yet, you do not see anyone so much as say, hey, why is Nancy Pelosi supporting abortion and contraception if she's supposed to be Catholic? You know, you're supposed to know someone by their fruits. My dear Catholic brothers and sisters, pray ardently and fervently. Go to Mass frequently. Go to adoration frequently. Take this season of Lent to mortify yourselves so that you grow closer to God. And in your sacrifices, you may offer up your sufferings to God for the sake of Canada and the United States. Pray very much for Canada and the United States that we change our ways and that we accept the freedoms of the Church, because the state has no right to infringe on the Church. We keep hearing separate Church from state, then separate state from Church. Thank you, and God bless you. Take care.